I got a 5.5% mortgage rate, while everybody else was getting a 6.5% or 7% mortgage rate on their home loan. I'm Alex, and this is Hammer Strikes. No rate buy downs, no gimmicks, just pure negotiation. I was able to secure a 5.5% interest rate, and I'm going to tell you how I did it. Now, one thing that you got to understand going into any kind of home purchase is that your mortgage rate is negotiable. Okay, it's not fixed. A lot of people think that it's fixed. A lot of people think that you cannot change what these lenders are going to give you. You absolutely can change what the lenders are going to give you, but the trick is to know when to do it. So up front, when you go to get your pre-approval, when you are shopping homes for the first time and trying to figure things out, and even all the way up to putting a first offer on a home, the rate is really not all that negotiable, okay? The rate is pretty much what they tell you it's going to be. But the second that you have an offer accepted is the second that you have leverage, okay? The reason for this is lenders are not going to waste their breath trying to fight for your sale until you actually have a contractual agreement on the table. Okay, once you have that contractual agreement on the table between yourself and the seller, that is the moment that the lender all of a sudden wants to be your best friend, okay? Because they know that imminently they could make a very heavy commission off of you. So they're incentivized to be your best friend, okay? So what should you do with this? Well, I'll tell you how I played this. Basically, I started with, we'll call them lender A, okay? And I got what's called a 3-page TILD, okay? They have to give you this by law. It's a disclosure that shows you things including the effective APR, how much lender credits are putting down, how much credits you're putting down, and of course, you know, what the down payment is going to be and everything else. Now, pretty much everything on that 3-pager can be manipulated and changed all the way up until you shake hands on the final deal between yourself and the seller, okay? So all of those numbers on that paper are negotiable, but the two big things that you are probably gonna wanna negotiate is gonna be the lender credits and the effective APR. These are the two most important things on the paper. Now, you need to make sure that you're comparing the long-term cost of the home loan over time, okay, in order to actually get the best deal. So this is going to be your cheat code to make sure that you are getting the best deal, okay? And if you don't know what you're looking at, you know, you can ask your realtor or you can upload it into AI, okay? Very simple. Now, I went to lender A and I got my pre-approval letter. All right. For lender B, I'm just going to tell you straight up, I chose Navy Federal Credit Union. Okay. Navy Federal Credit Union has a 0 PMI private mortgage insurance program for loans under 20% down payment. Okay. So basically, what that meant is that if I was putting less than 20% down, they would not charge me PMI, which means my effective APR calculated would be less. Okay. So I was essentially able to take my rate that I got from lender A, go to Navy Federal, get them to match it, and give me a deal that was better because they had the 0 PMI program. Okay. So I did that, and then what I did is I went in a circle. Okay, I went back to lender A, and I showed them the 3-page TILD, the 3-page disclosure that I got from Navy Federal, and I said, hey, they don't have PMI, my effective APR is lower, you have to beat this if you want my business. So I had them come in, and they were able to lower the interest rate, okay, to my benefit. And then what did I do? I immediately asked the loan officer for a 3-page TILD, and then I immediately emailed that 3-page TILD back to Navy Federal Credit Union, and I said, hey, match this rate. And they did. And they did it with 0 PMI. So then I asked them for the 3-page TILD. So then I took that disclosure and I sent it back to lender A, okay? And lender A, then if they wanted my business, had to, actually lower the rate. So basically, you can take advantage of lender programs and go in circles. I recommend, having at least 3 lenders and finding a program where you can effectively have a lower effective APR and go in a circle. Now, when you do this, all right, you got to be careful, because I did bring in a 3rd lender into the group, okay, and they were able to match my 5.5% rate, but they added those credits onto the back end of the loan, so the effective APR actually increased over time. So you have to be careful for tricks like that. Always pay attention to the 3-page TILD, okay? That's going to tell you whether or not the deal is good or not. Now, my effective APR, I'll let you know, is 5.6%, okay? But my actual APR on paper is 5.5%. And it was a fantastic deal, guys, okay? And I did this all within the 7-day inspection period, okay? That's when you have the most leverage, because you can always walk away from the table with 0 consequence if you do this during the inspection period. And these lenders are fast, okay? They're gonna get you those 3-page TILDs fast, at least within 24 hours turnaround. Now, depending on who you're working with, like a lender like Quicken Loans or Rocket Mortgage, they're gonna have that TILD ready for you basically immediately, okay? They'll be like, boom, it's done. Navy Federal Credit Union, they have fixed hours that they work. They'll take about 24 hours, maybe longer sometimes, to get you things. So you have to move fast if you're going to take advantage of any of these programs. Now, this strategy really works for you if you have extremely good credit. If you have extremely good credit, you can probably get into a credit union, and there will probably be some kind of loan program available that will allow you to get a little bit better of a deal and basically move the margin. But the deal is, you have to get the loan officers to start fighting for your business. And it's not personal, okay? This is talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, for a lot of people even millions of dollars over the course of the lifetime of the loan that you're going to be paying. So it doesn't matter, like the loan officers are not your friends, and they'll try to talk to you for long periods of time. Just keep it strict to business, okay? And yeah, I mean, absolutely. Always ask for the 3-page disclosure, and always send the 3-page disclosure for somebody else to try to beat it. And don't stop until you can't get the rate lower. Just keep going. Now, a lot of people also are not aware of this. I need to express this, okay? If you have a hard credit pull for a home loan, basically, you can have your credit pulled over and over and over again without consequence for a period of, I think it's like 20 days, something like that. Okay, so you can talk to as many lenders as you want. You can send your TILD to whoever you want. I'd say get at least 3 lenders, but you could do more even if you wanted to, okay? But hey, I mean, if you're regimented about it, and you're precise, and you're accurate, and you're fast, you should be able to reach the floor relatively quickly. Okay. Now, since I'm talking about a home purchase, while I'm on the topic of it, All right, I do want to state, when you're in your inspection period as well, that's when you have the most leverage, when you are negotiating with the seller as well. Okay, so that's when you can start negotiating things like seller credits off of the deal as well. So, you know, if there's any problems with the property, that would be the time to bring it up and basically ask them to foot some of the bill of the closing costs. I was able to successfully do this because days on market for the house I bought was quite large. Okay, it was like on the market for over 100 days. So I was able to get the full amount that was legally allowed from the seller. Okay, so all I had to bring to the table was closing costs. Okay, so the down payment. All I had to bring was the down payment. So my closing costs were covered. All I brought was the down payment. The lender provided credits after my negotiation for the loan. Okay, so I got a 5.5 rate, and all I had to bring to the table was my down payment. That was it. All right. So the key there, if there's anything that you take away from this, it's that when you are buying a home, you have leverage. You can always walk away from a lender. You can always walk out of a home purchase, especially during the inspection period. That is the time when you have the most momentum. That is the time to make deals. I'm Alex. This is Hammer Strikes. Go build something.